Hello and welcome to this week's edition of TMA from Engadget. My name is still Matt Smith, each week taking you through the biggest, most interesting tech stories of the last 7 days. This week that includes, well, new iPhone events, the verdict on those new Pixel 10 phones, and sure, I'll talk a little bit about all that stuff I saw at Gamescom in Germany last week. Let's get into it. Yes, our verdict on the Pixel 10 Pro is in, and sure, scores are just scores, but 94 is a particularly high score, reflecting brighter screens, a faster chip, and a bigger battery. One of several standout features comes from the software, particularly Magic Q, that's CUE, not QUEUE. Yes, that uses on-device AI to surface relevant information from other apps when you need it, for hopefully less hopping between all those apps for, say, phone numbers, email addresses, or your schedule for the weekend. Another cool feature lives within the camera app called Camera Coach, which offers shooting directions and surreptitiously introduces all the camera modes you probably aren't already using. What's surprising is the advice it gives is actually quite good. Yeah, I'll begrudgingly admit that. The camera hardware is largely unchanged from last year's 9 Pro, but the 10 Pro has a new feature called ProRes Zoom that uses generative AI to allow for up to 100 times zoom. And it's sharper and frankly better looking than the 100 times zoom that we've already seen on Samsung's Galaxy S25 Ultra. Just don't use it on human faces. Another hardware change is that all of the Pixel 10 series support magnetic Qi 2 wireless charging, featuring magnets that Google is calling Pixel Snap. It's pretty much MagSafe for Pixel phones, but it offers up the possibilities with a mountain of MagSafe compatible mounts, chargers, tripods, and more. And if you're looking to spend a little less, the Pixel 10 gets a telephoto lens for the first time outside of the Pro devices, and it's 5 times zoom, besting other base flagships like the S25, which only has 3 times zoom, and the iPhone 16, which only has 2. It also packs in pretty much all the Gemini features of those Pro devices. Now, if you're waiting on the verdict for the new Pixel Watch and the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, they'll be coming in the next few weeks, if not months. Stay tuned. Pixel Schmixel expect to see the iPhone 17 in under 2 weeks. Apple has announced its next iPhone event for September 9th, and the theme is awe-dropping. No, I don't really get it either. This year, however, we could see a new super thin addition to the lineup with the iPhone Air. And it could be one of the biggest shakeups since the iPhone 10 ditched the home button and launched alongside the iPhone 8. The iPhone Air is rumored to be roughly 5.55 millimeters thick. The thinnest iPhone so far was over 10 years ago with 2014's iPhone 6, which measured in at just under 7 millimeters. Now that thinner profile might mean a single camera and a smaller battery, but it's all TBC, to be honest, until September 9th. Looking back on Gamescom, it's odd that the biggest reveal was a launch date for a game that I played back in 2019. But yes, Silksong is coming and launching on September 4th. That's next week. In fact, Silksong has such an outsized influence that other indie games publishers are delaying the launch of their games. It better arrive next week, otherwise I'm going to be furious. Silksong aside, we've got a load of reports, some of which I am still writing, from all the games and news from Europe's biggest gaming show. That includes hands-ons with Silent Hill F, Resident Evil Requiem, Outer Worlds 2, and, well, a whole lot more. Looking back on Gamescom, best of show might have to go to Nongshim Noodles, who did not have a game, but did have a booth that was constructed purely of shelves upon shelves of instant noodles, and you could just take one. So I did. And in other news, Google is adding new language learning tools to its Translate app. The company says that users tell it that they struggle to improve their conversation skills, so this new update will pilot a new language practice feature targeted towards an individual's specific language needs, although it is only for a few compatible languages at this point. In order to create customized listening and practice sessions, the new learning tool asks you about your current level in the language, as well as what's motivating you, which is surprisingly deep for a little bit of I want 2 beers. Anyway, it will then generate customized scenarios that will allow you to listen to conversations or practice speaking with a little smattering of helpful hints. It can even track your daily progress. For now, however, it's limited to English speakers practicing French and Spanish, as well as French, Spanish, and Portuguese speakers trying to learn English. And that is this week's edition of TMA. I hope to see you same time next week, and I hope you enjoy a fantastic 3-day Labour weekend.